Dear friends, elders and youngers, Assalamu alaikum. I once again plan to present myself before you all to put one next view on some burning point and burning issues. Habitually, it is our responsibility. I am especially concerned to the status of the Muslim community in this country, especially, even though the same can be found across the world also. Right now, the point on which I want to discuss is that ability of making change in ourselves. Why we Muslims show ourselves very rigid to make any changes in ourselves. So this point we will proceed to discuss on this is why we are not ready to make the changes. My dear friends and Muslim brothers, especially, this is the time you can see in this era of the corona disease. Not even the some geographical area, but across the country, all the religions, all the geographical living status have made the changes in themselves. So even though, so for example, it was said to have the mandatory namaz in mosque, and the mandatory prayers for the all religions also in their respective prayer houses, but they have made changes during this corona. What does it shows? That there might be a situation, there can be a time when we would make changes in ourselves. So if this has been proven during this corona, there might be a situation, a time then we make the changes. So why not can we do it in a permanent basis? For example, in Indian scenario, if our religious head says ki particular X thing is important to follow in Islam, why don't we go to study at universal levels? We can see a number of changes that we get in prayership or cultural behavior or fooding behavior or dress code, etc. across the country. Different countries use different type of the dress code, eating behavior, cultures, etc. So how can we say in very limited area only what our preachers explains us that this is the right thing in Islam, and we just don't think anything and don't go to study on all those things, and we just accept that this one is the right thing what our preacher says to us. So but if you go and study across the world, you will get that there are many types of the changes in different countries. What does it show? I want to say, what does it shows? Ki what your preachers, what your religious monks says you, they says in most of the cases they say they don't even think what is going to be right. They just say what the things that suits to them only. So again, why I am repeating all these things is that there is always a chance to make the changes, starting from Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Some of the ritual habits and some of the cultural habits were not at that time, even though they have been the changes have been made after the after 200 years, 300 years and 400 years, according to the need and requirement as per the starting from the Islam. For example, you see there was a huge disturbance during this talaq period. I just got that there are three types of the you can say talaqs in country in Islam. but in 12th century that one type of the talaq was introduced, where the instant three times saying that talaq 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 was assumed. This came into the 12th century, while that era for the Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was from 600 to 700. So what I want to prove is that the changes have been made many times after the Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also, as per the need and requirement. In Indian perspective, in Indian situations also, if there is something that needs change and which may have the right effect on ourselves, our cultural life, our living behavior, then we should change it. Why not to change? If a talaq system can be changed from start to till this time, if the praying of the women and men in same mosque was allowed at the starting of the Islam, and now it is not available, then this means there is a chance to make the changes. So my point is that if something needs to be changed for the betterment of the community, for the betterment of the Islams, then we must always be ready. But point is that why our religious monk, why our religious preachers just don't say anything on these things, because we have set our minds only towards the earning the you can say bread and butters. If we have the mind, we are also responsible to study all those things. It is not every time necessary to ask anything tell me Maulana Sahab what is the right, tell me Maulvi Sahab what is the right. Why cannot you think? You see, how is it possible as the sentences what your religious preacher says you and you accept it simply? Why it happens? Because you don't want to go through all those things. I am not saying just go and study only those things. You earn your bread, you do busy in your daily life also, but for something, even though if I it's my personal view that when you listen something, when you see something, when you hear something, the first glance of the scenario says whether it is right or wrong. For example, I am saying, if someone says you have a lot of food and someone is hungry outside your house and is asking for some food, so it is not necessary to ask the religion, caste and creed of that guy. You have to just give the food. But if someone says, if somebody, it is an example, I am not saying everybody is following these things, but might be someone is following all these things also. Dear also Hazrat Ali, thank you. Wasim Akram Sahab, shukriya. And my point is that when you hear something, when you see something, when you experience something, you itself understand what the exact behavior should be, what the exact result should be, what the reality is there. For example, you see a touch. You can go to the Google and you can search one thing, touch feeling. You see, when you touch to your daughter, when you touch to your granddaughter, when you touch to your wife, when you touch to another girl, when you touch to another women, even the same touching have different type of the feelings, and you understand very well which one is the right touch and which one is the wrong touch. And female gender itself understands that which one is the right touch and which one is the wrong touch. In the same way, when you hear something, when you see something, it is not always necessary to ask some preachers. Just simply they have not any deep knowledge or else. And I am also not saying you leave all the things and you leave all the daily things, daily life earning, and you go just study this. But whenever you face any problem regarding that what should be the next step, if I want to be clear on this particular point, you think itself. If you think honestly, you will get the right result. Once again, to remind you, and my ultimately again the request is made to all of you, especially to the Muslim Brotherhood. Always be ready to always be ready to make changes in yourself if there is a need, and that is for the betterment of the community and the Islamic people. So thank you. I can understand that now you got the point what I wanted to say. If there is any different in your thinking as I am saying, you can write in comment, and that will be very big thing for me. But whatever you write, please just first make in your mind that it is all about to make the changes. It is all about to make a betterment in Muslim community. It is not just a competition that you say my your sentence is wrong. Try to understand my feeling. If there is something wrong, excuse, pardon you, all of you. Thank you once again. Bye bye.